Rain, sunshine, thunder, previews, Lito, Chris Connor.
You must know that first. Can't nothing and nobody fade what we trying to do and what we about to do. Second thing is, we got this game on our level. You understand what I'm saying?
Welcome to another episode of In Space. I'm your host, Chris Connor, brought to you here by DraftKings Sportsbook, Birdsall Lawfirm, and Crystal. And I mean, man, shout out to all crystals, man. Shout out to my beautiful woman, Crystal. Shout out to Crystal Hot Sauce.
Yeah.
Shout out to man, I mean, I don't know if I can say that. Shout out to Crystal Lake. Shout out to Breaking Bad that was about crystal meth.
Okay. It was a good rebound.
Yeah, I never tried it, but you know what I mean, for those of you that do, that indulge, shout out to y'all.
If it was if crystal meth was a basketball player, like a Hall of Famer, who would it be?
If crystal meth was like a Hall of Fame basketball player,
yeah.
So it has to be someone that's in the Hall of Fame already.
No, not if you don't see that game as that. No.
Sean Kemp.
The Rain Man. His brother's all right.
So, yo, we're going to make this about a 15, 20-minute show. First thing I want to say, man, shout out to all of y'all that pulled up to the preview. The preview spaces. I ain't did one of them in a minute where it didn't involve like a player or somebody like that. So that was dope to kind of, get back in the field and do that and do it on YouTube. And I mean, y'all showed out, man. Came in, people talk. We got to hear from people that are on the Pro Pels Talk show all the time, and really don't get a chance to speak. So we going, hopefully this series is a good one, and hoping the Pelicans can figure it out and maybe even advance further so we can continue to do these to end the season because tomorrow gonna be fun. So it's gonna be tomorrow around the same time, around 7:00 Central. Pull up. I'm gonna try to get some some cool guests. Maybe a couple people from Oklahoma City. Maybe this time Lito will join instead of being a menace in the chat. Maybe holla at Five, who currently at OKC. Man, shout out to him. Have put together some really good clips and film from post practice and as well as design interviews. But, shout out the dog over there at OKC, man.
Bob got a Hall of Fame resume just in one season.
That boy didn't have a season.
Yeah,
I was saying that the other day, dog. When we talk about like leaps,
dog.
Like he had a good year one, dog. But year two, bro, he became a star, man. Like
he put numbers on the board like that. That boy good.
Yeah, you pull up his portfolio for year two. It's nasty. It's nasty. So shout out to Five, man. Shout out to Chaz too, dog. Chaz had his last show did like 13,000 views, bro.
What?
A fucking monster, dog. 13,000 views. Any of y'all that got something to say about Chaz, this nigga is carrying. He is carrying Blue Crew Media almost by himself. There's a lot of great things that are happening, bro, but I don't care who it is. I can't do 13,000 views, bro, on a show. It's just not. I tried. I tried. So shout out.
That's smart though, dog. Like the way he formats shit, like he just smart. He understands how to play the game too. Like that's the crazy thing about it. Yeah. The crazy thing about it is like it's people think he just like it's definitely a method to his madness.
Yeah. All right, but let's get into it while we here, man. We're gonna talk the good, the bad, the fixable.
Yeah.
When it comes to game two. First thing I wanna start off with Willie Green. And Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
Willie, when asked about, and maybe I was partially wrong here because once I heard his thoughts and his comments, this doesn't happen very often. I'm naturally stubborn as is, so I I typically don't always love Willie Green press conferences. It's
Sure.
just a contrast of styles and preference personally. But I really liked what he said when asked about BI. The question was along the lines of, I think Will asked it. It was either Will or Christian. I don't remember, but it was
Christian, I think.
asked. Yeah, shout out to CC. It was asked if if there was anything extra that could be done, if there was going to be an emphasis on maybe running more sets, running more plays to kind of free up BI and that kind of situation, dealing with the physicality. Willie kind of flipped the script and left the onus on Brandon, basically saying, got to be more physical, got to play, got to play with more force, got to be able to fight through that that physicality that Lou Dort and others are throwing at him, because it's playoff basketball, and a lot of times, it's it comes down to your ability to deal with whatever your opposing person that's dialed or that's assigned to you is dealing with. I mean, he put a lot of the responsibility on Brandon. I found that interesting, but I also liked it.
Man, so my take from that is, well, first of all, I don't have much to say about Willie Green game one. When I say much to say, like I thought Willie Green did a good job of coaching game one. I think a lot of the things that were done minutes wise, I feel like we always talk about the Jonas Larry minutes
Yeah.
situation. Man, I mean, I think he played Jonas 29 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Larry got 19 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just asking for. We just want a balance. Like if he
Mm-hmm.
would have played, Larry 25, Jonas 24, whatever. Like I thought the allocation of it was fine. I mean, Jonas got you 20 rebounds. So I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was good. I think look, this is the conversation Justin and I had about Zion when
Mm-hmm.
Justin was saying, well, what is Willie gonna do to free Zion up?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dog, you a star, and especially now, like this is the playoffs, and you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, like this is the playoffs. This is when you make a name for yourself, or you keep your name, who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know how
My name is my name.
bro. you know you know how when Marlo was in the store and he was
Oh
talking to.
wow.
That's crazy. I know. That's crazy.
That's kind of wild. I didn't even know. Yeah, that's synergy.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I was like, damn, that's crazy. When Marlo was in the store and he stole that candy bar
Yeah.
and he went out. Security guard followed him out, gave him his little spiel, and Marlo
Mm-hmm.
basically hit him with like, you wanted to be one way, but it's the other way.
Yeah.
And it can't be both ways. We can't blame Willie for not getting Brandon shots or Zion shots. You know what I'm saying? Because I just watched Ant Edwards just be a superstar. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not no knock to Brandon. I'm just saying, look, the fact of the matter is Brandon got to play better.
Yeah.
He got to play better. It's on him.
And look, Lito, that leads to my next question, in which I'm gonna ask also tomorrow. Again, y'all, 7 o'clock Central Time. Pull up again. More y'all come up and speak, kick it with us. Um, do you think? And I shout out to Coach Sip. I asked him this. I texted him this earlier. Do you think the book is out on BI in regards to being physical? And not saying that he's soft. I don't think physically. I don't think he's he's soft or scared um of the physicality. But I think people look at it and say, well, he's not gonna he's not gonna speed by you. His handle isn't going to be enough to it's not going to be crazy enough to be able to get by you. We're talking, a dude that likes to that gets to his spots, raise up, really, really good footwork, especially when he can start a possession, kind of standing still versus being on the move.
Mm-hmm.
But we are, I'm curious if the book is out in regards to be physical with him, try to frustrate him, you know, because of how his mind is made up, he's not going to really flop. He's not going to do any of the antics that create fouls to deal with that with the physical contact. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and if he's not a guy that draws a lot of fouls anyway, with the way his game is set up, you can't lose doing it that way. Do you think that that's the book? Right now the reputation with Bi, and how do you think he's gonna have to get through that the rest of this series and going forward?
To look, I wanna start with answering the back half of the question first. You said that he's not gonna, you called it antics. And
Yeah.
a lot of people be mad at Shea for getting to the free throw line. My thing is
Foul
this.
baiting, as they call it.
Foul baiting.
Yeah.
My thing is this. And this is just not to Brandon, this is to anybody. If the game is being called a certain way, why would you let your ego and pride take you away from entertaining the refs calls? Like, so basically you saying, I don't care what's happening. I see how the ref is calling the game. I know my team needs me, but I'm not gonna participate in that because I'm better than that. It's, you know what it's like? It's like when the Harden step back, right? When
Mm-hmm.
he started, the people said it's 3 steps. The ref never called it a travel. So if
Yeah.
somebody is genius enough to play in between the rules, I gotta give them credit for it. Like, I gotta give you credit because you were smart enough to sit and think about how I can play the game within a game. And for me, like, I don't understand why, him and Zion started doing this a little bit more often, and Brandon started doing this season too. But like, employ the pump fake. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you saw, I think it was Shea the other night. He pumped, and Larry jumped into him. He created the
Yeah.
contact, but the ref gave him the
Yeah.
credit. Like, bro, the thing is, we talk about what the refs doing all the time. But here's my thing. You can do that too. You can do that too.
Yeah.
You don't get any credit for being a martyr in the NBA. Like, you don't get no credit for that.
Having good
But
ethics.
But yeah, like nobody's gonna pay you for that. Like, nobody's gonna remember that. Oh man, Brandon didn't foul beat that game. Let's vote him to All NBA. Um, I do think I do think. Yeah, I mean, look, if we gonna be honest, if we gonna keep it a buck, yeah, the book out for sure. Like, he a rhythm player, and the thing with rhythm players is they like to get to certain spots. They have certain patterns, and if you disrupt that, you never let him get on track with that. It's like a wide receiver, a speed threat, right? If you jamming him at the line, he not gonna be able to get around you to be able to use his speed. And the thing with Brandon is, look, there's a couple things he could do. Become more of a screener. Like, you got to get you seeing how Ludor playing him. You got to get Ludor off of him. Right now, if we gonna have to if we gonna have to set this pick 5 times on a possession, that's just what we gotta do.
Yeah.
We gotta find a way to get it. And also, I've been saying this. Brandon is obviously Ludor is stronger than Brandon. Brandon wants to get to the elbow. He wants to get mid post. Start the possession there. Start the possession there. You going deep into shot clock situations, and you getting tough shots. He already want to take difficult shots. It's nothing for him to turn and shoot over Ludor. The problem is the facing up and trying to get past him, because I noticed. I mean, look, his foot speed isn't what it would need to be to get past certain defenders in the NBA. And again, this is
Yeah.
not a knock on Brandon. I'm just keeping it a bean. I'm just keeping it a buck.
Mm.
Um, I think Brandon is talented, and he should be able to do these things. I do think he will adjust. He got to get to the free throw line. He got to create his own contact.
So Leo, I mean, outside of that, like, I do remember some sets where they started them off like it wasn't necessarily mid post, but it was more towards the baseline, like closer to the pinch post area. A couple
Right.
times, and part of the times we're struggling with the entry pass, which isn't a surprise. We've seen that
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
But what happened is that um either a double would come or he would anticipate a double, and he really wasn't able to. He wasn't able to physically impose himself on whoever had the initial contact. And like you said, I mean, I agree, and it's tough because the fourth quarter, right? There's a possession late in the fourth quarter where he's on the opposite side, I think the left side, and they throw the ball down to him. He gets an offensive foul trying to be physical.
Right.
Dort maybe flops a little bit, and it goes the other way to the Thunder. So and that may be what it means sometimes, man. It's like when you're out there setting screens sometimes, and people just trying to run through you or trying to be physical. You be physical back with them, even if that means giving up a foul. You got 6 of them, and sometimes as important as he is, sometimes it's worth taking a certain foul to send a message. Sometimes it's worth being physical because everybody ain't wired to want to have to deal with that again. You send the right message, and maybe that can help. I was looking at. There's been some Phoenix series stuff going around,
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
athletically right now, and maybe it could be because of health, it could be because of weight, it could be because of injury. I don't know. I don't see that same guy when we're talking quickness right now. I don't think at his age he's regressed. As I would hope he hasn't regressed athletically necessarily, but he doesn't appear to be that guy. Not
Yeah.
saying that dude was Chris Paul, prime Chris Paul, or what I'm saying, John Moran or anything like that, or Derrick Rose, but he wasn't. He was at a different level when it came to creating separation. So I do think where he's currently at right now, and there's no way he's 100%.
Nah, he not.
Yeah, there's no way he's 100%. I think one of the things he can do right now is probably be a little bit more physical. You got to use that physicality back and try to play the game within the game, and because they're going to need him to be able to do that for them to win multiple games or have an opportunity at winning the series. Lito, let's move forward to the good.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the post game, and there was some good points brought up about if maybe that was the best that New Orleans could do defensively. You know what I mean? Can you count on Oklahoma City having another inconsistent offensive night? And I'll be honest, man. I mean, look, Chet might shoot better.
Mm-hmm.
Luke Dort might shoot better. Others may come in and make an impact offensively. You know what I'm saying, to match what SGA did, but even SGA struggled. And look, I think one of the things you got in your bag is that traditionally, he's had some decent games, but traditionally the Pelicans have messed up well with SGA.
Yeah.
And I watched Najee match up well against Jalen, Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought that was exactly what you would have asked for. I mean, that's what when I was thinking about matchups, I thought Najee was the Jalen Williams matchup, just because of they're similar in regards to foot speed and athleticism. Najee's gonna be physical. Najee is kind of he's a little bit handsy in regards to going to the basketball. I mean, he had one situation that I don't think wasn't a foul that ended up getting called a foul. He ends up getting stiff, but then in the fourth quarter, he rips Jalen back-to-back times and helping them kind of regain momentum in that fourth quarter. I think that works for them. And then, you throwing in names like Dyson, you got the wingspan and the improved ability of Brandon, and then Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy, man, it has not been talked about enough. The defense that he's putting out as a help defender, contesting, staying in front, not being pushed off his spot, not getting caught up in the air, like being sound, staying on his feet. He is taking, I think, even if it's a small leap, he's getting closer and closer to the person that people envision coming out of a school like Virginia. I mean, he's getting better and better, but it's becoming a weapon now. And when it's most important, when that weapon's most important, when he's sharing minutes with Jonas.
Yeah. I think it was Schmidt that I think Schmidt had a tweet out earlier about the Herb and Trey minutes too, about how every minute on the floor between those two guys has been a positive. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I said on a pod that that probably was the game that you needed to win.
Yeah.
And I still don't. I still feel that way, but my view of the series has changed. And it's nothing that the Pelicans did or the Thunder did. It's just being having watched enough playoff basketball, like teams have they discover tendencies, they watch habits. You have more time to view film. It's not a regular NBA game. Like
Mm-hmm.
if we playing basketball on Friday in Chicago and then we go and play the Knicks on Monday, it's not a lot of film you gonna break down in a regular NBA season. Like you not gonna look like you told me this. You're looking at film probably in 10 game segments. Right.
Yeah.
So in the playoff series, it's a little bit different because you got time. And I do think that you can say what you want about Willie Green, however you feel about him. Defensively, I know one thing: they're gonna be locked in. He gonna have a game plan on how he wants to do on the things he wants to do. I think I asked about blitzing on the last pod, and y'all told me y'all seen it twice. I had seen it once. I think you're gonna see that. Look, this is the I think the cons are pros and vice versa, because as bad as Brandon played, as off a game as CJ probably had, you only lost by 2 points. You got up 39 threes, right? The goal is 40. That's what Willie
Yeah.
said. You led the game. You led the Pelicans led the game in assists. I think the Pelicans did a lot of things right to win that game. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, to be honest, I don't know, man. Fuck Justin. Oh, nah, man. Justin be calling me with all this hope and shit. Nah, but for real, like, it's crazy because I feel more confident going into game 2 than I felt about game 1.
Dog. And look, I think the Pelicans should feel that way, as well, bro. Like there are look, you know, J Dub shot 1 for 5 from three. SGA shot 0 for 3 from three, but he's not a
Oh,
great three shooter. Go
my
ahead.
bad. No, I was
No,
gonna say
yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, we was talking about pros and cons. My pro my this is my point. The point I was trying to make with that. Dog,
Uh-huh.
he was 0 for 3. He I'm not gonna say I'm letting him have the shot, but I'm gonna lightly contest it. I'm not gonna close out as tough as I would on whoever, right? Like I'm
Isaiah
gonna
Joe.
yeah, exactly. I'm gonna dog, you know what's crazy? I Gordon Hayward just on their bench, just like getting like
Yeah,
spot
he played.
minutes.
He played like 9 minutes. Yeah,
It's just crazy, but like I'm gonna make SGA gonna have to. He gonna have to at least shoot maybe 8 threes in order for
and
me.
look, and one of the things I think that they did well, while they didn't blitz him a whole bunch, they put together walls.
Yeah, I seen that. I was so glad to see that too.
Is that crazy?
It was a little crazy.
That's a little crazy.
It
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
look
I thank the Lord. I thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man.
But listen, I was happy to see that because, oftentimes, we come on the show and it was like, and we often like, you see how other teams got Zion. Why don't you implement that same energy to them? And it was a lot of times where, SGA, and look, Jonas helped with this in the first half, not so much in the second half because OKC kind of picked up the pace a little bit, especially in the fourth. But Jonas had a very large part of muddying the game up.
Yeah.
He was in SGA's the spots he wanted to operate in the paint. Like
Mm-hmm.
Jonas was lumbering around, and it's hard
Yeah.
to get into spots when Jonas is not a great shot blocker, but he's still 7 foot, so you still got to respect him. You know what I'm saying?
And,
As that.
and I mean, look, I think that if you had to ask who's the more physical team by nature, it's the Pelicans, even without Zion.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the key. Like they were extremely physical in game one. If they're allowed to continue that style, you make a couple shots. Like even through everything that we talked about in regards to Oklahoma City struggles, the Pelicans still shot worse from the field than them, right? The Pelicans still shot
Yep.
39% from the field, 28% from three. You
Yep.
go down the list. They got Isaiah Joe's a really good shooter. He went 1 from 3. You got 2 threes from oh God, Damian
Jalen.
Priest. Yeah, the other Jalen Williams.
Yeah. Wait. Did
Do you know
you
who
call
Damian Priest is?
you? No.
No,
No.
you don't want. Okay, go on your phone and I want you to look up Damian Priest now. And then after you look up Damian Priest, I want you to know that they call Damian Priest the bisexual undertaker. Now, while you're doing that, Kyrus Williams, former Pelicans legend, went 0 for 2 for 3. Gordon Hayward didn't take one. Wiggins made one. Casey Wallace made one. Josh Giddey was terrible. Maybe Josh Giddey plays better. Chet didn't shoot the ball particularly well. That could change. Maybe the starting Jalen Williams ends up playing, shooting better. However, I think my thought process is I watched the Pelicans force the Thunder into doing things like they controlled certain things defensively and they made some really good individual plays. I don't think it was as simple as sometimes like the Pelicans had 14 turnovers. How many of those you think were self-inflicted? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of
Yeah.
them. A lot
Yeah. A
of them,
lot.
right? But I would say for the Thunder, Pelicans worked for about 13 of those turnovers. Those things I think can translate and continue. So that's how I kind of view the good. Um, and look, I mean, let's go here. You talked about shooting.
Mm. Shout out to Five for the footage, man.
What you think about that, bro? What that mean to you?
Man, I like to
Does it mean anything?
no, but I like to see it. I like to see it because oftentimes I've been very tough on Willie Green from the player development perspective of his job because that's what his background was in, and
Yeah.
you just kind of haven't seen that.
Uh-huh.
But if he look, let me be Justin. Let me be optimistic.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Like I'm happy. I'm happy that he's doing closeouts with Jordan Hawkins, and let Hawk get some minutes, and maybe he'll make a couple threes and get on a spurt, and they'll have to guard him.
But Lito, what I'm curious here, and I'm just curious for your thoughts, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that thinks this. Would you be spending your time as a head coach chasing um a player in a practice around in screens and with everything that's at stake here in a playoff series? Like, would you be spending that kind of time with a player that you don't plan on playing at some point the rest of the season?
See, it's difficult.
What are your
That's a
thoughts
good
on that?
question. That's a good question, but it's difficult because that's post practice.
Right, I got you. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's technically extra work that Hawk is. Maybe he asked for that because he's not actually getting ticked. But
Uh,
I think that's a good question because I think put it like this: in some ways, even if Willie not gonna play him, in some ways that means Willie sees the promise in Jordan Hawkins. So
yeah, because
at
he ain't doing that
some
with Matt
point,
Ryan.
I mean, you want to be Justin again?
Make shooting great again.
See, I wasn't. I'm not even. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, no. Shout out to Five. I look, look. Let me say this. The Jordan Hawkins play, I agree. I wish, I hope he could get. Look, what's 2, 3, 4 minutes a game like that? Not really asking for a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? I just want to go back to my Jonas point for a second though. I,
Okay.
if Jonas is on the floor and they're gonna allow him to play chat 1-on-1 and they're not gonna double,
Mm-hmm.
Jonas has to be quicker in his decisions, whether it be passing and or attacking. But
Yeah.
dog, he gotta attack because your minutes are fleeting. And the series kind of depends on you getting Chet into foul trouble. And the other thing too is I want the Pelicans to not be scared of Chet. And I, by saying that, I know that sounds crazy, but literally everybody, bro, shot blockers, you attack them. You know what I'm saying? Like you jump, you go into him, foul bait him, make him.
Trey did. I mean, he didn't get
Yep.
the foul, but I mean, he
But
tried.
he saw that he a shot blocker by nature. He wants to leave his feet, dog. He want you if you he don't jump.
Yeah.
I think this is a very young team. The Thunder are a very young team. You know what I'm saying? And I think we can outsmart them. And lastly, for me, just this point, I wanna get back to your points. CJ gotta play better.
Yeah. No, I mean, and look, one of the things that I think can help CJ play better is what you were mentioning about Jonas. We got to see 29 minutes of Jonas Valanciunas on the floor. And we saw for a team that was struggling to create open shots for their main two guys, right? They eventually, most of the clean looks, they got the corner threes they wanted. Herb got his shots. Jose got his shots. Jose had some bad shots. Najee had one bad shot, but they got their attempts, right?
Yeah,
Specifically in the corner. Some were really close to falling, others were not. But some of that's a lot easier when you're throwing the ball down to Jonas because I mean it was and he wasn't perfect, but he's an it. I mean we talk about it all the time. He's an advantage creator, and without Zion, you need someone who can generate their own offense, even if it's not the same as someone on the perimeter. It's
mm-hmm.
important because it challenges Oklahoma City. Their best shot blocker has to decide like like think about it. Their best shot blocker needs a double because he's not big enough. Well, you're negating something right then and there because of all the
Exactly.
pressure that Jonas is providing. Maybe that means weak side, someone's able to, to cut and get and that's what Herb was trying, was trying to do. Anytime they throw the ball into, the short roll area, so on and so forth. There was a few times where Herb would just stay at the corner and one of the plays, he ends up cutting her. I mean, Larry looks for him and can't get him the basketball. But you're just taking advantage of the instincts of Chet because you know that Chet is he's going for like to the opportunity to create a turnover. You trying to sneak one, you know. I'm about to, Jesus Christ, on a
I
back to
was
a basketball court.
I was letting you
You
go.
know what
I
I'm
was
saying?
letting you
It
go.
didn't
Yeah.
work. Yeah, it didn't end up working, but I like the idea because they are things that you can take advantage with someone who is as aggressive as Chet is. He times his blocks and his jumps very, very well. But Jonas, man, the usage was very, very good. There was a point in the second quarter. Well, I think like the first 6 minutes, whether it was a Jonas rebound that turned into an assist, offense rebound, whether it was just a Jonas bucket, he like played a role in almost every bucket that was scored for like the first 5, 6 minutes of the second quarter. They're gonna have to continue to go through that specifically when they are playing the defense that they are helping play around him, along
Yeah.
with some of the individual things he's doing to keep him on the floor. You gotta feature him. You can't go through stretches when you are struggling like you are to create in the half court in a shrinked floor. You have to use 17 and live with the results. I'm with you. He got to be more aggressive. He can't wait for the double to come. We talk about this with Jonas for a while now, man. Just get the ball and go, bro.
Yo, just go. Just don't even go. Just don't even think about it. Look,
Yeah.
this is a specific play. Um, I think it might have been Melo talked about, having moves, having counters, but really just having a basic foundation of one move that you can do. Jonas did this one play where he got called the offensive foul on Chet,
Uh-huh.
but the idea of the move was perfect because it literally would lead to, if he missed, it would lead to him getting his own offensive rebound. And I want him to go back to that. It's literally an inside, it's an inside reverse pivot
Yeah.
to he was on the left block, inside reverse pivot, power dribble, get what I'm saying? He fended him off with his left arm So I know he wants to go right, but Chet is like you were talking about. Chet is what you would call a predator. He's a predator on a shot
You want to
block.
use that word with that team?
Yeah, that's a little crazy. That's a little crazy.
Hold on. I mean, it's not
That's,
even. But I mean, with
that's,
that
Oh, thank the Lord. Oh, thank Coach Harbaugh.
Go ahead.
that's real. That's real. So rather than exposing the ball to Chet shooting with his right, he literally went after he reverse pivots, starts to dribble, power dribble, boom, right? So now you can literally switch the ball. You have him on your hip with the left. It's a left hand layup, and if he misses, he's right there. He's not like Chet not gonna get the rebound through Jonas, and he could do that on either side.
Exactly. And
So
look, we talked a lot about Brandon. We gotta end this show talking about CJ. Also, did you look up the bisexual Undertaker?
I'm afraid that I did, and I'm sad that I did. And he
Good.
looks Puerto Rican.
He kind of looked like Jaden Williams to me, the other one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But CJ had an interesting game. I think it was inconsistent. He had some frustrating moments, but then he had moments where he has the best him, Jose, maybe Trey, when we talk about healthy players. I think those three guys understand momentum better than any other Pelicans on the floor. Like they understand, all right, what one turnover, with one rebound, with one shot, with one. It's LeBron like to some respects. You know how LeBron, you know what they call the fuck you three.
Yeah.
Like they don't take those kind of shots. They're not pulling from them from half court. Well, I mean Trey will, but those three,
Well,
about CJ right now, they understand like this pull up three right now matters. It's not just because we need the points, but because of the momentum, the role that we're on right now, and what this could turn into. This can make the Thunder call the timeout. All the different things. Like they understand that very well. And he had a few of those moments. And I mean, we talked a lot about the last shot and then not being able to put together a play. Look, at the end of the day, he somehow turned it into a good look.
yeah, he
I
should have
think
made it actually.
he should have made it. He should have made it. But one of the things about CJ, I think that's different between him and Brandon. Well, no, maybe 100% different with Brandon. CJ gotta take more of the singles. He gotta take more of the easier plays. When him and Jonas are in pick and roll action, I mean, we it's been conversations all year about him not throwing lobs to Zion, just not being able to find that, not being able to put that chemistry together. But CJ will dribble the ball too long, straight off of a pick and in a Jonas dive. And there was a couple times where he telegraphed the pass or threw the pass too late that ended up forcing, getting turnovers. We know about
Yeah.
the over dribbling, but they have to figure out. They gotta figure out a way. Jonas, CJ ain't the only one. But things like that, coming off that screen, knowing the attention that you're getting, dribbling the basketball, finding Jonas on the free release, and kind of seeing what that turns into from there. Those are but he has to make some of the easier plays. Everything ain't gotta be multiple dribbles. I know that they needed him to create some of the baskets that he did, but he got to be better, I think, quicker with some of his decision making. Willie was talking to him a little bit in game one about the pace that he was playing with. And then he's going to have to knock down the threes. I mean, he shot 2 for 9. They need him to be better. Like that 2 for 9 has to, you need a 4 for 7. You need a 3 for 6. You need one of those games close to those games that he was playing against Sacramento and Golden State. No, it doesn't have to be those two, but it got to be in the area in a game like this.
The thing of it's crazy because I could relate this to CJ, but I'm gonna say this about Brandon first.
Yeah.
You were asking me how could Brandon be better?
Yeah.
And listen to all the BI stands out there watching. I'm with y'all. He not healthy. I know he's not healthy. I can tell he's not healthy. But you playing, so you got to figure it out. But one of the things that could and should help Brandon in game 2 is playing with pace. Because if you allow them to set up, if you allow Dort to set up, like you should be looking once the rebound is shot and you rebound it, you should be looking around to see where who is where, and you should just continue to push the pace. Because if all else fails, you still 6'10". You get to the rim, like what they going, you know what I'm saying? I mean, unless if Chet's there, Chet is literally the only person on the team you have to worry about. So if you spacing him out, you have that to operate. To CJ's point, it's kind of the same thing. It's the pace of it. Case and Wallace played good defense on that last possession, but honestly, 10 times out of 10, if it's CJ against Case and Wallace, I'm gonna take CJ every time. Like I'm gonna take that matchup every time. I think that what'd you say?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I didn't say that.
All right. That's yeah.
Well, I thank the Lord. Well, I thank Coach Harbaugh.
Oh, I think CJ got to shoot better. 2 for 9 just not gonna do it. 2 for 9 just not gonna do it. And listen, I don't think CJ has the greatest vision when he's dribbling the basketball. I don't think it's ingrained in him to just look and see who's doing what. I think he's just wired as a scorer.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? Like he just not really. I don't understand. Like if I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't. That's crazy to me.
But look though, he can't. Well then, he can't say things like when he first got to New Orleans, like I never had the opportunity to play point guard. He can't say things like they ain't completely healthy, but they healthy enough. He can't say things like when he was in the spaces when they asked him about assist numbers. Well, I need healthy. I need my shooters to shoot. Look, man, some of those plays just gotta happen easier. Like and more than and at his age and with the minutes and the mileage that we're talking about, you need CJ to preserve as much energy as possible to close games and be a part of closing games in the second half.
Listen, man, and look, I agree with that. And as crazy as this conversation we having is, and I'm saying he don't have the vision that he not doing that. He led the team in assists.
Look. I still think he sneaked. Like I don't think his game was as bad as the box score shows. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a horrible game. You just needed more with everything that was at stake. It just was what it was.
Them old legs, and I'm sorry for calling your legs old, CJ, but older legs, like the minutes that he has on the court, he's got a lot of no disrespect. I didn't mean it like that. Right. The basketball legs, right? Like he's logged a lot of NBA minutes, regular season, playoffs. He's never missed a playoff.
Nah, he made a player last year. Yeah.
Last year. So, but anyways, look, and this is why I think, look, CJ needs somebody to get him easy shots. Brandon needs somebody to get him easier shots, and somebody has to make competent entry passing on this. Yep. Trey, I didn't speak on Trey yet. Trey was phenomenal. He had like 3 blocks. He's been rebounding and playing defense. He's been playing crazy. Like he's child to Trey. But this is where I think Herb can help.
Yeah, I like this.
Herb, generally you stick Herb in a corner and he's the outlet to whatever you have. He usually gets the open shots because nobody really go rotate to him in the playoffs because that's who they want to shoot the ball. But to the points we speaking to, if you had Herb involved in initiating the offense or even setting the screen, right, he can then become the roller. He can become the secondary assist man. Like we were talking about CJ and his assists. The thing about basketball is like you might not always get the actual assist, but you might make the play that leads to the next pass for the assist. So the hockey assist is way more important. It's way more important to do that. But here's the thing: in order to do that, you need movement from the other 4 players.
Correct.
Right.
100%. Speaking of Herb, man, I mean, I lied again. I said it was gonna be a 15, 20-minute show. We 15 to an hour. You know, one more time.
You never seen a senior hall?
Yeah. But
Huh?
you all right?
No, man, I'm good, man. We talking basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? This
Oh,
the game I
okay.
love.
There's a on Hulu for those that love Arsenio Hall. There's a Dark Side of the '90s
Yeah,
documentary series
that
put
took a
together
turn.
by Vice. Arsenio Hall's show is involved there. I don't know why that was a Dark Side of the '90s. Maybe I don't know, but it was it
That
was a
took
good
a
doc.
real turn just now.
Well, I mean, you said Arsenio Hall, so I mean,
I know, but like you ain't like you bringing it up like they was doing coke and dope.
nah. Well, Jerry Springer was on there, was on the series as well. He wasn't doing coke and dope.
Rest in peace, Jerry.
Yeah, Jerry. Um, Man, let me ask you this, bro, and then we can get out of here. Jaden McDaniels is getting a lot of love right now from um, how he stepped up right now, being back in the starting lineup. With I think for a period he was kind of, he was off the bench, he was starting, but had some health issues, but he's coming off the bench. Oh
Yeah,
well, no, that's not. He's starting. He's
yeah.
starting, playing really well, and they need him to going against Devin Booker, going against Kevin Durant and companies. He's playing really well, and people are giving him his praise. Jaden got a 5-year, $131 million extension last offseason. He's
Right.
getting paid $26 million a year. How
Mm-hmm.
much better is Jaden McDaniels than Herb Jones?
You talking about overall better or just like
Is he better? Is he? I mean, how much better is he? Is he better at all?
he probably a better athlete?
I say that to say I'm starting to lose ways to describe how. Ooh, I said describe with a V. That was fine. To describe how underpaid Herb Jones is.
Oh man, he probably like got one of the best contracts in the NBA.
That's
To be
incredible.
honest,
The Pelicans did a really good job, and I guess it all kind of worked out, bro, because he ends up having the best shooting year by far of his career. Could when he retires, I don't know if he can duplicate it what he did this year, but
dog.
just imagine that. Like they took it, they knew that they were gonna re-sign him, and they got him on a annual average of like 13, 14 mil a year. And now looking back at that contract, it's probably one of the biggest steals of all of basketball.
So dog, can we got time to break down some stats?
Sure. I mean,
I mean, my
we
daughter
already
sleep.
broke the fourth wall now, so I mean,
I bet, man. I'm just talking about the game I love. My daughter sleep. I don't really have nothing else to do. My dog sleep on the side of me. So, give me Jay. Can you give me Jaden's contract one more time?
Jaden is making about 26 mil a year, and his contract extension was 5 years for $131 million.
All right. So check this out. Herb played 76 games to Jaden's 72. Herb took one shot less than Jaden per game. Herb took 7.7 to Jaden's 8.7.
Uh-huh.
Herb attempted 3.6 threes to Jaden's 3.5. Herb shot 41 to Jaden's 33.
Hmm.
Herb shoots more free throws and he shoots one more free throw a game at 86% to Jaden's 72. Herb is the it's crazy. I said Jaden is the better athlete. Herb is the better rebounder. Herb clears him in assists. He is almost at 1.5 steals a game. Herb has more blocks.
Herb
Herb
better be
scores more points.
he better be the better rebounder, considering Minnesota got Cat
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Rudy.
that's true.
But go ahead.
Yeah, no, but he I'm just looking. I was looking at the advanced stats, the percentiles, and like, man, Herb is in the 97th percentile in portability, which is like
Mm,
estimated number of shots that he creates for other teammates. And that's something that I don't think
That's
I
fire,
would
bro.
have.
I have my glasses.
I don't. That's not something that I would have thought that you know what I'm saying. And listen, in Jaden's case, he's playing with offensive engineer, and so he not doing a lot of. He don't really have the ball like that. He pretty much is a catch and shoot guy.
Mm-hmm.
If I could shoot Jaden any bell, it would be that he had more of a dribble game than I realized that he did.
Absolutely. Last year he was doing a little bit of carrying when Cat was out and Rudy had Pierce struggling and Ant.
Hmm.
I think even Ant was out for a period. And then
Yeah,
Ant comes back and like he needs some help. And
yeah.
Jaden did a really good job. But it's a little different this year. Like they're getting Mike Conley's having another really good year. You got Nikhil
For that dude,
coming off the bench playing really well.
Mike
Tomorrow,
Conley
yo,
on
the show. No, hell no. Respectfully, no. No. Hall are very good. Um,
Hall of
you
Average.
tomorrow we talking to Nikhil Alexander Walker and Josh Hart. We're gonna do that. Um,
Bet.
yeah, man. I just really like looking back at Herb's contract. We're gonna be, you know, I'm curious when Herb's agent.
Bro,
How long before Herb's agent is like, all right, now y'all got us. We need to restructure this. It can't happen right now. It's not gonna happen over this offseason. But boy, did the Pelicans get a steal? We talk about a lot of things that did they do wrong. They got that one right.
hey, I'm gonna say this in regards to Griff with contracts. I don't think he ever lost in terms of contracts with guys. You get a 5 year max out of Brandon and Zion, and it's you got the stipulations in Zion's contract for whatever the weight and all these other things, and then in Brandon, I think it was something special about Brandon's contract. I don't remember what it was, but anyways, I,
He declined the he didn't have a play option.
he didn't have a playoff. Yep,
Yeah.
he didn't have a playoff option, and I think Griff undefeated when it comes to contract. He Eric Bischoff in the '90s when it come to signing somebody to a contract. It's just the other things like the trades. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, it's hard. We say this all the time. It's hard to critique a 49 win team.
Yeah.
Because I
No, it ain't.
mean,
No, it
no, it's not. It's not. And
ain't.
you would deem 49 wins as successful though by pretty much any standard.
Uh-huh.
But I think the fan base's problem is much like last year. You see certain areas in the roster where you could be better, you should have been better. Like you could have made minuscule moves to get better. Daniel Gafford's they traded him for a shoestring. Uh, like you know what I'm saying? Like because you don't play Cody Zeller, you play Larry out of position, you play him very big minutes, and you don't necessarily want to play Jonas. You don't like Jonas' style of play. So these are all things that need to be addressed. Najee, Jose, uh, Trey needs money. So I mean,
like you broke.
everybody
You
get
call
that
it broke.
paper.
Oh man. I did want to ask you about the Shannon Sharp Ocho segment, but I will save that for the show tomorrow pregame. So y'all, that's the end of this show. Hope y'all get all of y'all game preview fixes in before game 2 Thunder Pelicans.
Wait,
Hope
wait,
y'all
wait,
enjoy.
wait, wait. What's your
Yeah.
prediction though?
Oh, the Pelicans winning, dog.
You got a number? You got a number in your brain?
I got it 102-94.
102-94. So it was 94-92. I'ma say I'ma say 90. I'ma say 102-89.
I mean, look. I would be shocked, and I could be wrong. I would be shocked if the Pelicans. I wouldn't be shocked if they lose again, but I would be shocked if something happened. I think some are um t- uh, believing or thinking that tomorrow could be a blowout. I think I saw that a few times on the timeline from a few different national media watchers, basically saying that the close game of game one didn't make them feel like the Pelicans, like Bill Simmons thinks the series can go seven. And there were others that were saying no, it just makes it seem like to me it's going to be game four, game five. A lot of people are betting on the Thunder playing much, much better. And if they do, that should result or might result in a blowout, all things considered. I would be shocked if it happened, and that would really mean that my thoughts and what I think I'm seeing or what I saw in game one or how I view these matchups are wrong. And it would make me feel really uneasy going back home, expecting this team who has struggled at home to win back-to-back games. Because if you go back to New Orleans, if you go back to Oklahoma City down 3-1, you're going home. As far as I'm concerned, you just
Yeah,
are. So I think more than anything, they gotta win this game, and I think that they'll come out with. I expect BI to be more aggressive. I expect CJ to hit some shots, and maybe we'll see a rotation surprise or two. But I think they feel like, okay, like we're even better and more prepared without Zion, than maybe we thought we were in this matchup.
Go ahead.
And I expect them to win. I do.
Do you think Dyson gets more than 3 minutes?
I don't think you need it, bro.
Okay.
Unless Jonas gets in foul trouble or Larry gets in foul trouble or hurt, I don't think you need it because there were periods I didn't see it until Pope's game when people talked about it, but when Dyson got in the game, that gave SGA rest on defense because he just would sag off on Dyson in the corner.
True.
And what Dyson had been doing was moving around, kind of taking advantage of that, but he'd set in the corner. And defensively, he grabbed a couple rebounds, he had a couple good possessions, but it wasn't enough to really make any real impact. But I think this is just a Najee series, man. It's a Najee series. Unless you feel like Jose can't give you much, it's going to be a Najee series because he has a matchup made for him. I think. I think Jalen Williams is made for what Najee was given athletically and by God in regards to being able to stay in front of that guy, fighting through screens, being aggressive with them, taking care of the basketball. And if you can get a couple corner threes, he had one that ripped out that would have tied the game at one point. I would like to see him maybe get to the free throw line versus taking some of the layups that he attempted, but I think it's going to be a lot of Najee minutes, and I think he fits well with what they're going to need. I wasn't so sure coming into the series after watching the Sacramento game if any series going forward, barring injury, was going to be a Dyson Daniels series, unless they go completely small and go no center. It doesn't seem like that they look to do that yet.
Remind me in the future. I want to do a show about Dyson, like Dyson next steps. Like, what do you see Dyson on this team in the future? Because
absolutely,
you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that, man. So, hey, man, for myself, for Lito, man, we will see y'all tomorrow. We will also see y'all tomorrow post game. But I think during the game, Pro Pels Talk has a surprise for y'all at the studio. So watch the show tomorrow. Pull up 7:00, 7:30 ish. Whatever that surprise is, I will let y'all know. And yeah, man, we got some fun stuff coming up, and then y'all know where y'all can find us post game as well as always. Want to recap? Hopefully tomorrow, after a victory, we will close as we typically do. But nothing. Peace, y'all.
In the building. I told you last time, get with us or get out of here, man.
Be eating the W.